Welcome to Would I Lie to You, the show with tall tales and tantalising truths. On David Mitchell's team tonight, an award-winning comedian, podcaster and presenter, it's Chris Ramsey. And she's the model turned actress turned comedian, it's Michelle de Swart. And on Lee Mack's team tonight, she's free from the dragon's den, it's Sarah Davies. And pray for David. Bob's back. We start with round one, Home Truths, where our panellists read out a statement from the card in front of them. To make things harder, they've never seen the card before. They've no idea what they'll be faced with. It's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction. First up, it's Sarah.
Despite being a wealthy dragon, I recently sold half a tin of paint on eBay for £7.50.
David's team.
You sold it on eBay?
Yeah. What else do you do on eBay?
Buy things. That's the other... Why?
Why did I buy half a tin of paint?
Sell. You said you sold it.
But don't worry, it's going well.
No. You can buy and sell things on eBay.
He told you that.
But always keep the half-used tins of paint in the house.
Yes.
Because in case you need a touch-up and everything,
You need a little touch-up, don't you?
And then you find 10 years later, don't need that anymore, half a tin of paint, but doesn't go off.
Is there a market for second-hand, half-full tins of paint?
It's not really second-hand, because it's brand new.
Man in the green jacket.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a market.
How do you know that?
I pursue it ferociously.
10 years you've left this paint in the corner.
Yeah.
And then you've opened it, had a look, and you're like, that's good to sell.
You genuinely can use the paint after that long.
That's what you tell them, innit? After the name. What's the post and packaging for half a tin of paint?
It was £6.
£6.
So £7.50 for the paint. Almost as much again for the postage and packaging.
Yeah, but do you know how much a 2.5 litre of paint
I
costs?
have absolutely
It's
no idea.
a lot of money, mate. It's a lot of money. That is a bargain.
Do you have people that do that for you, David?
God, yes.
She's called Victoria.
Do you paint your turrets?
That's a euphemism, you know.
If I didn't know he knew I called them that.
What are we thinking, Michelle? What do you think of this?
This one's tricky because it's like, yeah, that's why you got money. Because you're selling half a tin of paint.
So you think it could be true?
To me, it seems wild that anyone would do that, but I'm like, that's why you're minted, and I'm not.
I think there, when we were saying it might be true, there was a little glimmer of hope on Sarah's face there.
Yeah.
I think she thought, oh, they're going for it. And I think that in that moment, you betrayed yourself. So I think it's a lie.
I think it's got to be a lie. £7.50.
I think we feel it's going to be a lie.
All right, they're saying they think it's a lie, Sarah. Was it a lie or was it true?
It is the lie.
It's a lie. Sarah didn't sell half a tin of paint online. Bob, you're next.
I once upset a lot of people after I was hired to film a wedding. Something I'd entirely forgotten.
David's team.
Who hired you to film their wedding?
A very good friend of mine who saw something in me. He was called Dr. King.
All right.
And he had an act. He was a comedian. It was his stage name.
Oh, right, yeah.
And he had little toy rabbits, little furry rabbits on the end of string, about 10 of them. And he would tell a joke. I bought my granddad a snowboard for Christmas. He's been going downhill ever since. And then swing the rabbits.
Right.
Put too much petrol in my car the other day. I couldn't get in it. That was his act.
Someone married this man.
Did I say he was married?
Well, you were...
You did say it was his wedding.
You asked me who asked me to film a wedding.
OK, I think I asked you who asked you to film their wedding.
Well, in that case, I apologise. I've behaved very badly.
OK, Dr King commissioned you to film someone else's wedding.
Yes.
OK.
I obviously was drawn to Dr King on account of the rabbits, but also his personality. He was...
That older, yeah?
Yeah. I don't know why I'm telling you about him, other than the fact I found myself living with him.
What?
And he was a professional gambler. He made his living betting on the horses.
Right.
He would only make a few bets a year. It could be as little as 5. He also did videos of weddings.
And you lived with him?
I lived with him, yeah. He drank 5 pints of milk a day.
Wow, that's a lot of milk.
Isn't it a lot of milk?
Wow. At what stage in your life did you live with Dr King?
I was probably about 30 years old, I think.
What was his real name? Because you say Dr King was his stage name as a comedian.
Yeah. I'm going to say... I'll say Jerry Knuckles.
OK.
I don't want to say...
So obviously he had to change it to something more amusing for his comedy work.
I'll tell you what's interesting. Nothing to do with the story. His girlfriend was one of the Teletubbies.
Which one?
The green one.
And you said he would only make about 5 bets a year. How do you make enough money from that?
Big bets.
Is that his girlfriend's name? Dr King and Big Bets are coming around for lunch again.
There you go. So, obviously, that's true.
So he ran a business videoing weddings and similar events.
Yes,
did he?
and one Saturday, I was asked to go along and be one of the 2 cameras. So I went to this wedding, and he said, go down the front and get the bride coming in.
You mean filmer?
Filmer, yeah.
All right. You mean kidnapper?
And you said this angered a lot of people.
No, that didn't anger anyone. What you do is, in those days, is you didn't edit videos, you just gave them all the footage. I go home back to the flat to transfer the little cassettes that are in the VCR onto a VHS.
Onto a VHS. So what happens then?
I did what I was meant to do.
Yes.
Handed it over to the family. And then the next morning... Did it say I upset someone? The next morning, there was a knock on the door, like the police.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang. And it was the father of the bride.
Oh, no, what had you done? What was the footage?
Exactly.
Oh, no.
Because the VHS that I gave to the family was a recording of a horse race. So when they turned it on to show the family, it went, and they're off!
Because you had recorded the wrong thing?
I know I'd taken the wrong VHS, which was one of This ties in! Because it was one of Kingy's...
Bets.
horse racing.
But you've transferred it from the small cassette that
Yes.
goes in the camera to a VHS.
Yes.
And then just picked up a different VHS.
I mean, it's a long time ago. My memory's fleeting, a bit like a mouse's tear on a hot griddle.
Did you still have the right VHS in the flat? Because that could have
Yes,
resolved matters
we
quite quickly.
Absolutely did. But he did say to us, you've behaved very badly and you should be ashamed of yourselves.
How did the father of the bride know where you lived?
It's on our letterheading. Perhaps.
Michelle, what do you reckon?
The thing is, the story is absolute nonsense. Like, it's ridiculous.
No, actually, when you get into it...
That's what I'm
the
saying.
milk and rabbits aside, it's just Bob took the wrong VHS.
Yes!
If you imagine I once mixed up 2 VHSs, we'd think that was plausible, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Let's move on.
So do you think Bob's been telling you the truth?
I don't want to talk on that subject. You happy to go true?
Yeah.
Me gut's saying lie, but...
You think lie, you think true.
Yeah.
We're going to say true. We're going to say true, and then I've just got some things to do. So that's fine. Then you can let me know at some point.
You're 100% on this?
Just, I've said what I've said.
Oh.
That's your decision. You're saying it's true.
I'm just trying to, you know, there's a bigger picture. It's a troubled world out there. I think I'm going to address that.
And we'll live with the consequences.
Absolutely.
OK, they say it's true. Bob, was it true or was it a lie?
I was telling the truth.
It's true. Bob did upset a lot of people when he filmed a wedding.
I must say, that is gratifying.
Chris, you're next.
I once had a row with a friend after he did something inappropriate in my car.
Please, team.
So when was this?
Probably 15 years ago.
I'm just going to go straight for the obvious question.
Yeah, what type of car?
What type of car was it?
It was a silver Ford Focus.
What was the reg?
Are you serious?
May I ask what your first car was?
A little Ford Fiesta, and you're going to ask us the reg now and point made. No.
Right. He said he did something inappropriate.
Yeah.
That's it, check the card. But I must say, Chris, you did that very subtly, and I think you got away with it.
Thank you very much.
And what was that inappropriate act?
He brought into my car and consumed a full lasagna.
That is outrageous.
Was it a supermarket ready meal?
It was, you know, one that your mum would do for the full family.
Oh, massive one.
In
Massive.
a dish.
Fresh from the oven.
Why were you offended?
Because it stank.
Lasagna doesn't stink.
It doesn't a Ford Focus.
The thing about smells is it's all about whether they're appropriate. There are some smells that no one ever likes, and there are some smells that are always pleasant. And then there are other smells that are nice in some circumstances, but wrong. For example, you don't get any shower gel that smells of lasagna, do you? However nice the smell of a lasagna might be in, say, an Italian restaurant.
What did he eat it with?
Basically, his mum started coming down the drive, and I thought his mum was coming to tell him, quite rightly, that he couldn't eat a lasagna in the car of someone who was driving to a gig.
Right.
But she was actually just passing him through the window a plate of garlic bread.
Nice, Mum.
OK, I'd say that's pushing it.
When I said what did he eat it with, I didn't mean what was the accompanying dish. I meant, was there cutlery? Was it bare hands? Did he use an old CD?
It was a knife and fork.
A metal knife and fork?
Yeah.
OK, so he's now got a metal knife and fork. He's even got the side dish. Has he got a napkin?
It was wrapped around the knife and fork.
Right, it's time to go for a guess.
So what do we think?
True.
Well, you sound convinced.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lee, it's a tricky one.
Can I have a more assertive side, please?
False.
Oh, we've just made it
How
harder.
many times have you been on this show, Bob? It's not called Would I False for you, is it?
Get up to your nurse's office and take your punishment.
Go on!
Sorry, I think it's false.
A lie!
I think it's a lie.
Oh, you two. I'm going to say it's true.
Chris, was it true or was it a lie?
It was true.
Yes, it's true. Chris did have a row with his friend over his car. Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. This week, each of Lee's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest, and it's up to David's team to spot who's telling the truth. So, please welcome this week's special guest, Linda. So, Sarah, what is Linda to you?
Yes, this is Linda. She is me on German TV.
Right. Bob, how do you know Linda?
This is Linda, and she allowed me to blow up her caravan.
And Lee, what is your relationship with Linda?
This is Linda. Her monkey beat me at Snap. And I will be taking no further questions.
So there we have it. Sarah's Teutonic twin, Bob's blast buddy, or Lee's primate pal. David, where will you begin?
OK, so, Sarah, in what sense she's you on German TV?
Well, I don't really speak German, so when I do all of my TV in Germany, Linda is my voice. So I say it in English and she translates it for me.
What shows are you on in Germany?
I do loads of shopping telly in Germany.
What's that? What's shopping telly?
When you shop on telly.
You can shop on the internet, you can shop in the shops. How can you shop on telly?
Sorry, are you taking the mickey? You've never heard of television home shopping? Do you ever use that remote control? When you're searching for those adult channels, you must go through that. As soon as I see a blender now, it's all over. Sorry, not blender, Brenda.
I have heard of shopping TV. I've never really watched any.
But you're acting as though the whole concept is alien to you.
Just want to nail the concept. I'm not disputing its existence. German shopping TV.
Yeah.
You're there
Yeah.
saying in English
Yeah.
about the things you're selling.
Yeah.
And then Linda is what stands next to you and translates.
No. She sits in another little room, like in a sound booth. So
And
you never
dubs
see...
you live?
Dubs me live. You never see Linda.
How does she know what you're going to say?
Oh, she is that good. As the words are coming out of my mouth, it's like she's in my head and she just knows what to say.
So she's also psychic?
Yep.
What sort of things would you be saying on the show?
And today we've got this fantastic demonstration. I'm
Und
going to
today,
teach you how to
Demonstration
make
fantastic.
this
So I can make
Using this paper,
Ja.
me, scissors...
Scissors,
this
a weißen
pot of
kleinen
glue.
Burschenbacken.
Ja, das ist sehr gut.
They're really good. Are you on by yourself or with a host?
With a host.
So
Always.
the host is speaking in...
German.
So
Right.
how do you communicate with the host?
Because when the host starts speaking in German, I've got a little earpiece and Linda talks into my ear and tells me what they say in English.
Linda's an unusual name for a German lady, isn't it? Linda?
Linda.
Oh, that was better.
Sorry, I should have said Linda.
Is she German?
Well,
I mean, she's not. She's from Accrington and she owns a monkey. But in your story...
I don't know whether Linda is an unusual name in German at all, actually.
How many German women have you known called Linda?
How many
none.
German women have you known?
David?
I don't think.
How many women have you known?
Right, David, who would you like to quiz next?
Bob.
Right.
Right, you
Oh.
blew up Linda's caravan.
Yes. Husband's caravan. Family caravan.
Right. OK, tell us how you came to blow it up.
Linda works at the local commercial fishing lakes where I fish down in Kent. She works in the bait shop.
Where does a caravan come into it?
I talk to Linda every time we go. She comes and checks your tickets, checks what you're fishing with and for.
What are the options of fishing for?
Well, you could fish for a carp or you could fish for a perch. You really want to know about fishing?
Yes.
Like-
No, that's a good point he made.
Yeah, sorry.
The thing is that we want to get to is the caravan being blown up.
How did you come to blow up her caravan?
Thank you. I got talking to Linda on many occasions, and she told me that her husband is in demolition. And I said how much I would like to blow something up. I think, wouldn't a lot of people? I'm not...
Definitely.
Yeah, blow something
Yeah,
up.
I'd like
Who doesn't want to blow something up?
And her husband, is it Len?
I don't know.
Well, we don't know.
Maybe his name's got a question mark in it.
He's called Len Question, exactly. His nickname's Pothole. Pothole.
Pothole.
Yeah, because he comes around unexpectedly or something.
It's not what you want from a demolition expert.
So one time when I was fishing, he said, if you would like to, we have an old caravan in one of our paddocks. And Len said, you can blow it up. And I blew it up.
How did you blow it up?
You're not going to believe me,
Yeah.
but one of those.
But did you take any part in placing the explosives in advance?
So Len set the charges or whatever.
Is that his middle name?
How big an explosion was it?
One side of the caravan went... Just one side of
Straight
it.
past you.
Straight past Asda, right through centre. Bang! So I don't know whether he set it wrong. I was hoping for, like...
The whole thing.
And what about your gear?
Nothing. I was...
Nothing?
No. Len Question knows what he's doing. You know, they bring down tower blocks. Len does.
And yet he can't properly wire up a caravan.
Oh, he didn't. No, don't disrespect Len. Len's terrific.
Is that his third name?
I've lost track now.
Lee had a pretty mundane claim. Remind us of what it was.
This is Linda. Her monkey beat me at Snap.
And, OK, how do you know Linda?
Well, I don't know her, really. I just met her for one day.
And why did you meet her?
Because she wanted me to play Snap with her monkey.
How did she convey that desire to you?
She told someone else.
Who?
A guy called Brian.
Who's Brian?
It's Brian exclamation mark.
OK, Brian! Who is Brian?
Brian is the producer of a television show called Prove It. Genuinely, prove it! Exclamation mark.
Saying what?
That she had trained her monkey to play Snap, and she trained it so well that it was beating people. I'd been asked to go on the show. And my daughter loves the programme Prove It! Exclamation mark. She's always saying it, you know. I'll say, hey, I'm your father. And she says...
So it was a thing on this TV show...
Correct.
That you had to play Snap against Linda's monkey. What type of monkey?
It's your classic error on the card. I don't write these cards. It was a chimpanzee.
Could the chimpanzee say the word snap?
In chimpanzee world, you don't have to say it. You just have to hit the button.
Ah,
The button. The button. One of them is for Snap, one of them is for blowing up a caravan. Neither of us were allowed to say Snap. We both had a button, and we had to sort of look at each other and then look at the monitor, which was in front of us like that, and then go.
Yeah.
And you look at all these images, and when two of the images are the same on the run, because it's not cards, it's images, he would look a bit wistful when it was a banana. When I say wistful, I don't mean he was wanting to play another card game. Yeah. The purpose of the exercise was because it was a monkey ape sanctuary, and as long as the monkeys could stroke the apes, they were allowed to stay. It was monkey stroke ape sanctuary, and she would teach them how to play Snap.
Had they trained these chimpanzees to do anything else?
One of them presented a shopping channel in German.
So, there we have it. Is Linda Sarah's Teutonic twin, Bob's blast buddy, or Lee's primate pal?
Well, I find myself in the strange situation of thinking that it's Lee.
Can I just remind you?
Yes?
I did say I beat a monkey at Snap.
You said
beat
a
you.
monkey beat you at Snap.
Yes, I did.
That's right.
No, you're quite right. If you'd said the other thing, I wouldn't have believed that.
I mean, what about Sarah and the shopping channel?
I think there is no doubt that if what she does is dub people into German on shopping channels in Germany, she is most likely to be German, which makes it very suspicious that you didn't just go, yes, she's German.
Yes.
The great irony about this conversation, and you never asked me, is she genuinely can speak monkey.
Now, what about Bob and the caravan? You don't seem to be considering that.
That could be true.
I like the idea of, like, Bob just having a moment of tranquility while fishing and then going, I really want to blow something up.
What's it going to be?
It's Lee.
You think it's Lee?
That's what I think it is. Do you think it's Lee?
I think what you think, Captain.
I think
Go
so.
for it.
We're gonna go
you
with
are
Lee.
dynamic. I love this. Linda, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Linda. And I'm Sarah on German TV.
Thank you very much, Linda. Which brings us to our final round, Quickfire Lies. We start with... Michelle.
I once ate a full English in a plain toilet.
When you say plain, not very brightly decorated?
Aeroplane toilet.
Why were you eating it in the loo?
Because, like yourself, I am sensitive to smells and I get outraged.
So you went to the toilet?
Wait, no. OK, wait, let me explain. When I get on planes or trains and I see people eating, it really does my head in.
I was on a plane once and something was up with the food and they literally gave everyone crisps and everyone opened their crisps and was eating crisps at the same time and it was one of the worst noises in the world.
How do you cope in a restaurant? Do you feel like standing up and going, oh, give it a rest, some of you?
You're on the plane. The full English arrives to your table.
It's outside food.
You brought it on board with you.
Oh, I see.
I didn't want to impose my outside from the plane food on the plane.
Right, so it's for everyone else's benefit.
I am a selfless person. I think we've established that.
So you put the lid down and you're sitting on it, using it as a seat, obviously? Or did you sit on the floor and use it as a table? Well, both work.
Yeah, I'm getting to it. All right? I'm just having a think.
I'm just having a think.
By which you mean having a remember.
I remember sitting on the toilet
Yeah.
like a normal person.
Well, you say that. A normal person who's got the lid down whilst eating a full English breakfast. At least I assume the lid was down.
Yeah.
Well, you never know. You might have been multitasking.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm sat on the toilet
Yeah.
having a munch.
Now, when did people see you taking? Did people see you taking the food into the toilet?
No, because they're minding their business, Lee.
My mind's in my business, but I tend to sort of look at people walking into toilets with full English breakfast.
Sarah, what are you thinking?
There's no way that can be true. You would go so far down in my estimations if that was true.
Right, Robert Mortimer.
I think that it's probably a lie. If that helps.
Well, it does, because I need to know what you think, and you've told me. I think it might be true, but I'll go with my team and say it's a lie.
They're saying it's a lie. Michelle, was it a lie or was it the truth?
It is, in fact, sorry, Sarah, I am disgusting. It's the truth.
That's disgusting.
Yes, it's true. Michelle did eat a full English in a plain toilet. Oh, that noise signals time is up. It's the end of the show. I can reveal that David's team have 3 points and Lee's team have 2. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Good night.
Big laughs for comic relief as Nikita Kanda and Smash Bengali host a dazzling night of stand-up. The Asian Network comedy on iPlayer. Press red now.